To unlock all Radiant missions related to the second ending, you need to play at difficulty 6. But I will be playing at 11 to simulate the new player's experience, because I have a fully allocated skill tree. If you have not fully allocated, try to prioritize all small nodes up to the second major node, and if you have some points left, try to unlock the Rock Trader node. Also, it's great if you have invested 50 ingots, which allows you to bargain with the shop owner, aka buying relics for free, but with the fight. The only ops I will be using are Radiant and XGI Altar, so you can choose any squad that allows you to recruit them both on their first initial recruitment state. Or you can take built-in, fully maxed Radiant from the support squad. You will need a couple of friends with XC Altar. XC should have her skill 2 fully built at Mastery 3. Also, she needs to have a module. For the Vanguard, you need to either Myrtle or Beanstalk. Also, make sure that the button glows orange and not blue. That means the separator is from your friend. So you don't miss, in fact, any operators at all. Other operators could be taken from your friends in this squad, at least. You can clear all of the stages on the first floor with only Radiant, even at her Elite 1. So you don't need neither the reserve squad nor Excel. But I will be using her just to clear the first stages faster. This stage is quite easy. The only difficulty is this talisman, and only on difficulty 15, because on 15 they're dealing burn damage. But you just placing the ground units in front or like from back of Radiant, just to be able to hit like talismans from here. Or you can bait talismans with any ranged units in front of talisman's path. I am a little bit tired, so I don't want to make a lot of text annotations for such a long run, and you'll have to bear with my voice. I found a bunch of VST plugins to make my voice less annoying, so I think it should be fine. You know, it's like a director's cut. When a movie director say you're watching this movie, we're making a lot of comments. I am doing this run with a lot of limitations and rules, like, for example, not taking any broken coins, broken relics, and not recruiting any other operators except the ones from the reserve squad. The general rule is that on the first floor, you are saving all your recruitment vouchers to recruit on the next floor in the Pathfinder node. The first Pathfinder node is granted. If you have no plans for recruiting any, let's say, 6-star snipers or casters, you can get always Click or Mage, because they are very useful on the mid-boss stage on the third floor. For that mid-boss, which is floating in the air and have a really high evasion, unless you knock the boss down to the ground. And back to the current stage. You're starting with placing Radiant on the tile, which doesn't have any snipers in front of her, because on high difficulty she could be killed with the snipers. And therefore, the emergency version, you're usually taking her first skill. I am not expecting that Exe will be able to kill the Tetrageist, So I am placing her just closer to Radiant. For the first floor, your main goal is to replace your default risk coins and save recruitment vouchers for your 6-star operators, maybe if you have them. And take ideally the emergency operation to have a lot of hope to be able to recruit them in the Pathfinder node. I am not a big fan of risk coins related to skill points, so I am skipping them. The flower coins are the best, and this one especially is the most broken one. So I'm thinking, nah, it's way too broken and I'm skipping it. I will kind of regret it later. The second ending is a DPS check, so always looking for plus physical damage relics and damage that and relics that gives you plus initial skill points regeneration rate, and initial deploy points, and also anything that has a word of ammo in it, like ammunition skills, because they will boost XC greatly. And here is your coffin wheel coins. The default ones meant to be replaced, but some other risk coins are good, even great. Sometimes they gives you more bonuses when they're tossed, like extra energy shield or extra health points. Sometimes you don't want to toss them when the bonuses are decreasing, like attack speed. On a low difficulty, you mostly always want to toss them when the toss don't cost you any coupons. In Bosky, you're usually looking for trade nodes first to spend your health points, looking for the same coins and relics useful for your second boss ending. And then you're looking for debt nodes, because sometimes you can pass the node when you have less than 3 health points or even 1 health point. And at last, you're looking for the legend nodes, because legend nodes can restore your health points. But if you're aiming for a second ending, don't go to the far legend nodes, like from 3 or 4 hops from the starting node, like from the destination, because the second boss encounter node, the guaranteed chance to get the artifact is to buy out it for 30 ingots. Save these nodes for later. For the Radiant plus Axia run, you might want to replace your defense coins first, then plus movement relics later, and then plus health and plus resistance at last. Normally, for the second boss ending, on the second floor, you should go for the path that has a portal node in it. But I decided to make both of my operators candle holders, because I found a scout node on my way and a Pathfinder node. And I already had a Radiant at Elite 2. When you have a Radiant at Elite 2, you can make your candle holder by taking a fight with candle holders. But you also need either Exia and some medics, or just Exia maybe. Because basically the fight with candle holders is all about survival against the thunderstorm. Basically, the fight is about placing your operator at Elite 2, because Elite 1 will die, on the center mode, the one with the flower on it. And then you're placing medics, any other healing defenders around this node, and Exia. And after that, your candle holding operator, you want to candle hold. Because Exia will give her the shield. Exia will give her shield because she's the last deployed operator after Exia. So you're basically choosing the first skill for Radiant because it will boost her survivability by giving her barrier. So you're clicking barrier and then clicking Exia skill. Your only goal is to survive. Like, you don't even need to kill these monsters that spawns. Your only opponent is this Thunder. The example of this coin that gets better after each toss. This is why if your tosses are free, you should do it. Like every time when you're going to the new floor or when you're entering the portal. So this is one of these stages that can be passed with only Elite 1 Radiant. Basically, you need to charge this tower as soon as possible after getting rid of these talisman casters. And this tower will be your main DPS dealer for the golem. You don't need to kill golem with your summons or any other operators. And about right now, I am noticing that I have only golem left, but 2 more enemies on top, like on this 19/21. So I will get an unexpected encounter. This is why I am not deploying any other units to block the golem. So I will be able to make a quick new formation in case it will be either Gopnik or the goose. This is the goose. This is why I'm making a line of my fish. To be able to upgrade your operator in the scout node, but at the same time adding a candle, you need 1 health points left. And I think this option is only available when you unlocking it in your skill tree, probably. So you may not have it. If you don't have it, I'll locate it in your skill tree. On the third floor, you're usually looking for a route with a rocket radar in it, because on the next floor, the fight will be significantly harder. If you are looking for the second boss, you may want to choose a path with a portal in it. I also just made a tutorial for this stage. Basically, it's all about chaining your planes. Multiple planes can hit the same target. So this is the 1 and 5 formation. All 5 planes will be able to hit the top lane, and 1 or 2 planes will be hitting the running guys. Yato Altar is really useful on the second boss stage. Your main purpose is to kill that dishes and plates that are coming from dead monsters. And now I'm starting making mistakes. I am candle holding my myrtle, and I'm thinking, hey, I have 3 candle holders, like my core team, minimalistic core team. So I may take some fights. And here's the spoiler, I wasn't ready. I simply didn't have enough of damage dealing relics. Also, let's be honest, it's kind of hard to taking these fights with only 2 operators that can deal some damage. Anyway, on this stage, you need to block the puppet, like the one on the bicycle, with your summons to stop the poison haze. And after that, you're deploying Exia and starting to bait Colossus stuns with your summons. But my summons died really quickly, so I was thinking about some backup plan, which was about not killing this puppet with summons, but killing it with Exia. And these decisions will ruin my Exia skill rotation, so I won't be able to kill Pseudomods. Pseudomods initially, like in their crawling state, have a very high defense. But when you're feeding some operators to them, they are starting to float like in the air and losing all of their defense bonus, so they can be killed by Exia. But normally you're splitting the stage on 2 parts. 2 or 4 pseudomods are getting killed with radiant summons in their crawling state, and usually 4 are getting killed by Exia when they are fed with your ground operators and changing their state to the floating one. If I had any other sniper or even custom, I would be able to pass this stage without any leaks. Like the sniper on top of Exia on that high ground tile. But it's okay because you can pass these stages in multiple attempts. The mobs that were killed on the previous attempts will not appear on the map in the next attempt. You need at least one DP generating vanguard like Myrtle or Beanstalk, because there could be one monster on this stage that prevents your DP regeneration. This is why you simply cannot deploy any other units. Also, the main goal on this stage is to defeat either Gopnik or Rus or this mouse, and to stall the remaining monster, like the random one, with your ideally some defenders, plus medics, or units from Radiant's skill 1. So basically, you're stalling this monster and meanwhile trying to kill Gopnik, let's say. But like I said, I did a mistake because I tried these fights when I didn't have any decent relics. But anyway, I received my coupons for this stage and experience, let's say, if I had any plans to recruit new operators. And this is the stage I was talking about in the start of the video. This boss has a very high evasion unless it's knocked down to the ground with some stunners. This is why you may want to add click or may to your squad. But the other solution is to simply chain your planes to make all 5 of them to hit the boss and burst it down with a DPS. The boss is healing when she is floating over talismans. She is spawning talismans from time to time. If you see any talismans on her path is basically these regular tiles. You need to basically put any ground unit on these talismans. There is no specific pathing for this floor. You can either choose the path with the most combat nodes, especially the emergency operations, or you can choose a safe path with the face-off nodes, safe house nodes, and non-emergency operations. Since I got free coupons from combat nodes within the Sui realm, they're always dropping coupons. I'm choosing the path with the most combat operations, including one emergency. For this node, you need either Ethan or a lot of operators, because these plates and dishes and whatever stuff, like which is dropping from dead monsters, are mostly hit based. That's why you need to do something that hits very frequent and not really hard. Like, it doesn't really matter. You need just to hit frequent. I'm usually placing my operators on the bottom tiles looking left. There are no specific timings for this stage. You just need to be able to defeat talisman casters like as soon as possible when they just come out of the red boxes on the top. At this moment, I'm looking at enemies info because the emergency version and normal one looks exactly the same to me, even after I'm passing this note. I legit have no idea what's the difference. Maybe some mobs on the left side are a little bit different. You need to block statue guest as soon as it appears with one of your summons and destroy it as soon as possible. Don't let any monsters to come out of it. Do not put any ground units on Fearanmut Pass. And Fearanmut's path is basically this vertical vagary tiles and the bottom line. And Fearanmut, in his crawling state, simply will fall into this hole on the right side. I already cleared the stage during this run, so I have nothing to add. I still haven't found the encounter for the second boss, so I need to explore the Sui realm a little bit more by moving through the nodes, which allows me to explore the map the most. This is why I need to pass through this node, which normally I would never enter, because this node is basically visible check. There is a boss, like mid boss, which is shooting your operators who has the lowest defense. And you need to play around it. Rijadel is nicely protected by her summons, which gives her camouflage. But right now I'm looking at all of my operators, comparing their defense. And I unfortunately noticing that the lowest defense operators in my squad are Arabian, Exia, and 2 reserve casters. So I'm trying to play around deploying Radiant first, then Exia to give her a shield, and I'm deploying a caster, trying to bait some attacks, which will give Exia some time to prepare her shield for Radiant. But here's another deal. I have a talisman on Exia. This is why her shield isn't ready, and they're both dying as a result. Notes were made. I need some adjustments. This time I am trying to deploy all of them at once, Exia, Radiant, and 2 casters, which will give me some time. Also, I did a mistake by deploying a ground operator last, so the shield from Exia went not for Radiant but this operator. I also changed Radiant's skill because these planes have less defense than her skill 2 and can bait some attacks from the boss. If you don't have enough of burst DPS, you may want to split these 5, I guess, praying dice into 2 groups. Let's say with 2 of them and 3 of them. Split them by placing Defender in the middle of them. This way they won't be healed all at once. And here is it. The legend encounter required for the second boss ending. Don't try your luck and just buy the artifact with 30 Arknights. And now I am simply spending the rest of my candles on suing games. Spending my hope and my ingots to health and some collectibles. The routing on the floor number 5 is up to you completely, because if you don't have any, let's say, required elites to operators, you may want to upgrade them in the Pathfinder node, or you can take a safe path with the, let's say, face-off nodes, which are pretty safe for Radiant. And even if you lose in a face-off node, it doesn't count as a lose for your run. Or you can take a path with the portal node if you still haven't found your legend node required for unlocking a second boss encounter. If you have multiple groups of operators, the hand will target the one which is closer to the bottom left corner. I have a group of 2, which is Exia and Radian, because Exia will give Radian shield just in case, and Radian will give Exia attack speed by receiving this shield. And this is why I need another group of 2, but closer to the bottom left corner to bait their hand. This is why I also need to retreat Myrtle. I've made a mistake by retreating Exia after. This is why I leaked some dragons in the end. In this run, I had a really low attack on Radiant, maybe twice as less compared to my solo Radiant run. This is why I had to rely on Exia more. This is a tavern node in which you can swap your ingots to health points or collectibles. This is your main trade deals in this node. And the And in the other 3 node named leisure, you're trading your hope for a pretty much random things. So it's like a more byproduct. The good outcome is energy shields and collectibles. I finally found a decent relic for Radiant Summons, just in time. But now I do have a damage after meeting the last rock trader. This is why I am trying to test a strategy with the locking the boss in the, let's say, left vertical line. let these explodey things to explode, and to deploy your operators only on the leftmost vertical line. Also, if you have lazy, you can place her right on top of the boss. You need to use her skill 3. And finally, the boss stage. In the normal run, you usually want to take Angelina and the auto altar to deal with the left side of the map. And for the right side, Radiant and Exia altar is enough. Also, you need some Agent One quartz to deal with the starting Candlegeist, and maybe to stall the mobs from the right side. But I will be using a limited squad of just Exia and Radiant. Before entering the stage, you may want to toss your coins to look for the best combinations of coins you can get. Start the stage with deploying your Agent Vanguard to destroy the staging guest. But I don't have any Agent Vanguards. I am using Myrtle, and she kinda sucks at it. This is why I need to deploy some other operators to deal with the staging guests. But I don't have other operators. The hand is targeting the most bottom left operator. This is why I'm retreating both Myrtle and the first fish and deploying the second fish to test the damage of my operators, Radiant and Exia. The only reason why Exia and Radiant are surviving the hand is because of this shield. This is basically the reason why Exia is here. I'm making a note about the amount of damage I'm doing to the hand, which is roughly about 10%, and switching my focus to the Stattergeist. After Sui is out, you need to disable your excess skill. And basically, this is the rotation I need to do over and over until Sui is dead. Deploy the bait on the top right yellow low ground tile. Click on Exia skill to give shield to both Shore and Radiant, damage the hand. Meanwhile, you can press Radiant skill to damage the hand additionally with her summons. And when the hand is out, you disable excess skill. You doing this over and over, and meanwhile trying to kill all of the waves of the mobs. And in this clear, I'm fully licking the left side, which had to be about 20 HP loss. So normally you're licking the left side, killing all the mobs, and staying with the hand one-on-one. Then after Sui is reaching 50% of its health, Sui is clapping like a giant clap. All your operators are forcibly retreated, and then you're repeating it once again, but without any mobs this time. So far, so good. But what I didn't expect is that my relic starts working incredibly well on the second round, and Sui health will drop really fast, like way more than 10% from the last time. And my mistake, and the thing, I didn't notice it. I was fully focused on the talisman casters and on the bottom lane. And because of that, when the Sui appeared for the third time, I was basically instantly clapped out of existence. Just when the main pack of mobs comes out, of course. If you have way too much damage, you need to bait Sui hand like far away from your creators, or be on the left side of the map, so they won't damage Sui. This is probably a very rare problem, but I got exactly this problem in this run. A very important note: if you are using operators as the Sui bite, like for example Myrtle, you need to click on XCS skill after that operator which was used for a bite was killed by Sui. Or instead, you will give a shield to this operator, and the region will be defenseless, and will be killed, of course. So my operators are clapped out of existence, not in the right time. Some burning guys comes out of red boxes and saying hi to me. And I have no other options than to lick them. And now I'm on one-on-one with the boss. I'm repeating the same steps, which is put the fish as a bite, click on XCS skill, then click on Radiant skill, wait until Sui will clap, and then place summons and other operators.